everybody, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost, and today we are going to do our best attempt at recreating this similar technique on a journal cover. And so if you're interested in seeing how I do that, come on along and let's play with the paper. And we're going to play with some paint and a little bit of tissue paper today, and let's have some fun. So this is the current prototype, I guess we could call this. Just give you a little closer look at the cover. It has a lot of texture. This is a real leaf, and I have been saving some leaves over time, just pretty ones that I find every now and then. And sometimes they curl up on me, and as they dry, because I didn't think to put it in a book, I didn't think that far ahead. What you can do is if your leaf has curled up on you, you can soak it in water. Oh, I'd say for about, I don't know, an hour or so, and it should absorb the water, relax, and then you can pull it out of the water, and then take a couple of tea towels and put it between two tea towels with a little bit of weight on it, and just check it. Probably going to take maybe a day or so to fully dry, but it'll dry flat. So you can get a crunkly leaf flat if you need to. Okay, so here we go. All right, let me just back up a little bit so we can see what's going down. There's the birdies. That's the African gray. And those are the lovebirds with the side twitter in the background. And little pumpkin face. Hang on. Did she just call me pumpkin face? I think I just called it pumpkin face. Maybe. But I mean that in a loving, most warm way. Okay, all right, I like it then. Okay. There was Sunshine's cameo. Okay, so what I'm going to do this on is, let me back up a little bit so you can see everything. This is actually a book that I was working on with you guys the other day, and ideally the easiest way to do this is before you make the book. Okay, so I have already gone ahead and created this book, and if you haven't seen how to make a book with full page sheets videos, I will link those down below. But since it's after the fact, and sometimes we think of things after the fact, I wanted to show you how to do it after the fact. Okay, so basically you want to protect this part. You can actually wrap this if you want in saran wrap or cling wrap or something like that. That will also work. But I'm just going to use a piece of old art paper, like newsprint paper, kind of kindergarten paper. And I'm going to protect the inside. So I'm just going to put that down, layer that inside. You can also use acrylic sheets, newspaper, probably plastic would be the best. But if you don't have plastic, then you can just use what you have, and then you can just sort of cover over any little spots that you get. I would recommend covering your work area because this might get messy with the acrylic paints. And this side, I just put this down, and I've also put some white paper down just to cover my whole area. Now, this one, I sort of butchered the spine. Let me get a little closer. Oop, got that close, silly Billy. Okay. I kind of butchered the spine a bit when I was cutting it apart, so I want to go ahead and reinforce that now. We can actually do that later. Let's actually, we'll do that later. We'll just do the painting now. Yeah, let's stay focused. Okay, so I'm grabbing, okay, where's my stuff? I want you to grab, if you have, some napkins. Whoops, they just went everywhere. And if you don't have napkins, then tissue paper will work, Kleenex style stuff, or even toilet paper will work, because we're just looking for fibrous, easy to mold when we wet it paper, okay? All right, so first of all, what we want to do is we want to create you got to look at the color of what you're working with. Do you want this to be kind of in the background or not? If not, maybe you want to paint it white with gesso, which is like a thick white house paint. It's an acrylic paint, and that will give you an opaque whiteness that you can paint over easily any color that you want. But since I'm going for a bit of a mysterious dark feel, I think I'm going to work with this, and I'm just going to grab some Mod Podge, my little handy Mod Podge container. And it's always good to have a wet wipe at the ready, because you're going to get some sticky fingers doing all of this. So have either a wet wipe. This one will probably be a little bit of a lengthier video because we're going to go through the process. And this is if I can remember exactly how I did that. I'll do my best. Because, sometimes with reckless abandon, you just sort of get going. And next thing you know, Yep, it's done, and you forgot how you did it. So we're going to do our darndest. I think I know how I did it. Okay. If not, maybe we'll create a new way along the way. Okay. And I thought of, I'm going to do the leaf, but I'm also going to do some other things in addition to the leaf that were not on the other one, just so you can see some other techniques as well that you might like to play with in the future. And we're going to play with our, you don't really need more supplies other than the tissue and the paints, some kind of paint, acrylic paint, different things. You can use your inks and things like that too, but you're going to need some form of coloration. Okay, so let's work on 1/2 at a time. That's probably a good idea because this is a big book. Yours might not be this big, but that's okay. Just work with what you have. And so what I'm going to do is let's take the tissue paper, and if your tissue paper is multi-ply, you can separate these, but I apparently bought, or these napkins are bar napkins. They're one sheet. I'm just going to wrinkle them and give myself lots of wrinkles. And then just going to sort of place it down in a wrinkly sort of fashion. That's okay. I'm not worried too much about exact placement. And you can always go back and add little bitty pieces here and there. Like, let's say if you have a zone that's not covered, you can cover it at the end with some extra little bits. Alrighty. So we're actually after the texture. We want the texture. Buzz balls. Okay. Overlapping is okay. Just get it on there. Get some texture in there. It's okay if it rips and tears. Doesn't matter. No, it's all good. Yeah. All right. So hoping you're feeling experimental today, and you're a little wild and crazy. You want to do something a little out there, risque. Okay. So I'm working on a book cover, but you could easily do this on a cover that you create yourself out of a cereal box or manila folder or chipboard, whatever you have. Let's start something over here. That's it. Okay, not wrinkly enough. We want more wrinkles, more wrinkles, more wrinkles. And we can always cut off excess after, so don't worry about that. And you can smoosh as you go. So if you can get a lot of wrinkles on the initial laydown, just add your wrinkles after. You can add your wrinkles. You can't really take away your wrinkles. It's kind of hard. I wish, it's always hard to take away wrinkles, isn't it? It's easy to add wrinkles in life. Hard to take away wrinkles. That's okay. Just show a life well lived, right? Yeah, lots of thought going on in that wrinkly face. Yeah, love it. Okay, let's stick some more there. And put a little more here, a little extra here. Get you down, get you down. Okay, now I am going to cover this, so I'm not too worried about this area here. So I'm mostly going to be focusing on this over here. So now it would behoove us to let this dry a bit, okay? And of course, I don't want to wait for drying. I should wait for drying. I'm just not very good at it. You can use the heat gun to blow over this. You can wait and wait for it to dry. Or you can just carry on and do another coat on top of this. But I think what I'm going to do at this point is you can paint this or you can Mod Podge this as is right now. Now, remember, whenever you Mod Podge on top of a layer, that's going to seal in the colors underneath. So let's say we want to start with maybe, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I'm going to use today, what am I going to use today? The paints of choice are Craftimo acrylic colors. These are your basic colors. And then Craftimo, these are metallic paints, 8-piece metallic set. And this is the 12-piece acrylic set. So if you're looking for those, there's a link below, and you can get 10% off anything at their shop, Craftimo. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this now. I have to get a paintbrush. All right, let's get a fairly big paintbrush for this. Let's see, get a big one, a super big one. All right, because I'm going to go over a lot of area. So this is just a regular old house paintbrush. And I think I'm going to go with this dark, what color is this? This is phthalo blue. All right. And I should probably have some water, but I don't. Let me get some water. Okay, so remember when you're working with acrylic paint that Once it dries, it's going to stay there. Yeah, so make sure you protect your work surface and your clothes. Okay, or you don't care about those things. Whereas watercolor, you can wash it off after, but because it's water soluble. But yeah, acrylic paint, not so much. Yeah, okay, save that. Oh, that's pretty already. I like it. Okay. All right, so we're going to put a little dollop. Let's just put right on the, well, we don't really need to wet the brush. Let's just put some on here. Let's paint. Oh my gosh, we're painting. Look at us paint. Okay, so this is going to have a blue cover. But or at least blue in the background. So we're giving it a blue background. See how nice and solid? But the texture from the tissue paper, the napkin, still shows up. Okay. Now you don't want to bunch your napkin up too much, or else you're going to get areas of where it wants to come off. So kind of mush it down. And then we're going to go over it again, don't forget. So don't worry too much. Little bits come up here and there, because we're going to Mod Podge the whole heck out of the thing at the end. All right. Now it is absorbative paper, so it's going to take, you know, a fair amount of paint. So make sure you have a little tube to work with or something. And then you want to really either drop your brush into water or go rinse it off after, so that your brush doesn't harden, because your brush will harden. You don't want crunchy brushes. No crunchy brushes. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. And you also want to be mindful of the edges. You're going to do the edges. And if you're going to come around and maybe do your edges in a different color, like a gold or something like that, you don't have to worry too much about the edges right now, like the part that curls around the corner. You can just work on the front surface. And you can always add more paint. You know, remember that. If you forgot a spot or it didn't work out the way you planned, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Again, we don't have to worry too much about prettiness in there, because that is going to be covered. Let's just go backwards a little bit. So we were painting down. Maybe paint a little bit this way to kind of fill in any gapperoonies. Okay. You might have a gapperoonie. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's a little corner I didn't get. See that? Did you see that? Probably not. Okay, so I'm putting this in the water just so I don't have to run around and do something about it. See how it's dispersing? Yes. Probably want to squeeze it out too. I got to do the back cover too as well. But maybe we'll just focus on the front cover together. I'm going to do the same process on the back. So yeah, I think focusing on the front cover is a good idea. Okay, so you can let this dry, or you can carry on and put in different layers and things like that. That's a very intense color, but maybe we want to put in some dark muddy greens just because we're here, and we want to add that on top. Okay. All right, this is very, ooh, yeah, see how that happens? That's how it happens that fast. Yep, there, oh, gotta take the lid off. This, what color? What color? This is grass green. Okay, working with grass green now. All right, opening, oh yeah, there we go, get it all over the fingers. Okay, let's put some in the corners, I don't know. And this is kind of, you know, your artistic process. This is where it comes out. It's either, you can kind of blend it together a little bit, put it where you want it, maybe just around the edges. We're going for a little bit of a nature look here. Okay, random nature smearing, a little more green. And you can kind of decide, is this the look you want? Okay, we just streak it through, get a bluish green background. Go this way. Okay. There's a lot you can do by the big bump there. Get this a little bit too much. So I'm flicking some off, getting rid of some so it's not so bumpity bump. You can always add more bump, okay? But if you're over bumped, you might want to debump just a little bit. And that was pretty much me debumping. It wasn't really that hard. And you can take, this is actually best to remove now because it's wet and it kind of comes off. It's just tissue, so it tears pretty easily. And you can go ahead and sand this off after, but if you want to keep it easy on yourself, you may just want to remove it now while it's wet with your little painty paintbrush. Yeah, there we go. That's all nice. All right, get the edges smooth. Okay, the paper. All right, now put that back in the water. Okay, that's enough green right now, and I want to bring in a little bit of levity into it. So maybe at this point I'm going to try some of the golds. Maybe I want to add, or the metallics. Maybe I want to add some gold and just see what that looks like. And, or maybe you want to do that at the very end. That's fine too. Maybe we'll do some metallic. Maybe we'll do some, oh, maybe this color. Okay, this is like regular acrylic yellow ochre. Maybe I want to add a little yellow ochre. And at this point, you can still choose to use your brush, or you could totally switch over to some kind of dabbing maneuver. Okay. All right, just dabbing some on here and there. This is just a yellow ochre. Okay, and if you like it, great. If you don't, you could brush it in. You can just play with the paint, you know, just have some fun building it up. We are like mixed media playtime today. This is fun. This is fun. Okay, and let's see what we do. Probably a sponge would be good. I don't have a sponge right here, but a finger. I'm blending it too much. Okay, yeah, no, I don't want that. No, okay, back away with the finger tool, Pam. Back away. I like that look. Okay, this is what happened. Hang on. I'm gonna wipe this off. Wiping. It kind of wipes off pretty fast. Yeah, if you get it while it's wet, you're good. Okay. So let's maybe let's use the other end of this since we're here. Yeah, let's try that. Okay. And this is the experimental part. You got to try like what works, you know? What works? Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. I don't know. Just trying it on for size. We like it. We like it. We can always change it. Okay. Okay. It kind of looks like an old side of a ship or something that's starting to rust. I think that looks kind of cool. Okay. Now I'm going to put my leaf in the center. So, all right. Now I'd like to try. Let's try some of the gold. Let's see where that takes us. Oh, we got to glue that down. If you got some paper that's peeling up, you go right back down where you're supposed to be. Yeah, you just do that, and we'll glue you later, so you're not going anywhere. This is gold, so this is from the metallic set. All right, let's see where this goes. Let's try that little guy again. On the back of you. Oh, you're pretty. Look at you. You're all goldy gold. Oh yeah. There we go. Now, if you wait till it dries, and it's not going to pick up the paper, the tissue paper underneath. Of course, we're not waiting. Okay. I don't know why I'm doing like a little picture frame here. Or maybe my big central leaf theme. How exciting is that? Okay. Okay. All right, let's try that then. I think I'm going to put this in the water. Let's soak it out a bit. All right, closing that up. Wiping my little paws. And let's get a leaf. Okay, which leaf are we going to use? All right, this one we have here. Might need to choose more than one. Okay, so this leaf, it has ribs on one side. Oh, let me get closer. It has ribs on one side and flat on the other. So I think it's more advantageous to have the ribs face you, just because. And I'm just going to use some Fabrifix because it glues well. And you do need a fair amount. It's probably better, to wait for this to dry. But I'm not going to wait. All right, we're going to glue it and see what happens. Fabrifix works pretty well, even in wet environments. Not soaking wet, obviously, which is what we have, which is just plain silly to do it now. And we may have to wait for it all to dry. But you really want to glue the back well, okay? Now, remember, we're going to go over all of this again and seal it in. So you have to be a little ginger with this because, you know, it's a dried leaf, so it can fracture as you're doing it. But you may need to just either work that into your design or cover it up. Yeah, that's what we do. All right, here we go. How about a nice little angle position? Oh, that's very nice. We like that position. Yeah, now might get some ooze, but, you know, it's okay because it's all going to be covered with Mod Podge, so it's okay. Just get her down. Get her down. And you might need to go back a little bit. Okay, it's all right. And I don't know if you can see with, I don't want to touch that. Hang on. Okay, let's see how I did with this one. I think I did more of a white background with this one and then layered up the colors that way. Oh, I can't really see that, can you? But I just want to show you. Some leaf is exposed and some leaf is covered because what did I do? Came over with Another, lay down there, lay down there. And this, you have to, this is where you got to go in and sort of double check. Make sure that everything is actually adhering, okay? And it's gonna do better if it's dry. All right, but I'm just lazy pants. Grab your tissues again. And maybe you want to use a, I don't know, let's try a tissue this time, like a Kleenex. Okay. And maybe, I don't know, let's see, does it hold the wrinkles as well? Let's do a wrinkle test. All right. Oh, and this is multi-layer. So that is, sometimes that'll come apart on you. So if you want to separate your layers, that might be a good idea. It's not so hard with the tissue to do that. Now we got some wetness, but maybe we're going to need the Mod Podge again. Okay, let me rinse this out. Where's my Mod Podge? There it is. Over there in the open bottle. Great. Okay, rinsing. Bring this over. Getting a dip. Okay. I'm just going to put some of this on top so it grabs. Okay. This sort of also seals in your leaf. And another thing you can do to lay over top, other than tissue paper, is cheesecloth. I've done that before on Mother Nature's logbook, if you've ever seen that one that I made. I'll probably try and link the link down below. But yeah, I put cheesecloth over the top to kind of seal it in, because sometimes these little peely-uppy edges are, you know, you don't really want to deal with that. So, okay, here we go. All right, now this will take on the shape of your leaf. Now, if everything was dry, it would do it really nicely. But since we're not, we're impatient. And don't get too worried about whether you like your, see, this is how we reveal some leaf. It gets stuck to your fingers as you're taking it off. You can go ahead and maybe do this with the wet. This is a little wetter, so it's going to push down. The more you push down, the better. You can always go over it with more paint. Okay, and let's get a little more going here. Let's try over here. Just remember, some of this might come off. Okay, let's try that. A little water. Yeah, get the shape of our leaf coming through. You can expose it as much as you want or as little as you want. And a nice wet sponge seems to be matting it down. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, oh, like that little edge there. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so you can kind of, if you see like a little folded over edge, maybe your Kleenex got two perfect edges in some area, then just go ahead and remove them. Yeah, there you go. Okay, push, 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 push. Like I said, it will adhere better if you wait for it to dry on its own. So I think I am going to wait for this to dry a little bit. Let's put that on there. Let's push it. Is that a nice flat bottom? Let's see. Not really. Let's use something with a flat bottom. Are you flat? You're kind of flat. Let's try you. Sort of. Yeah. Would like flatter. Flatter, flatter. Thanksgiving platter. How about this? Squish. So you're not going to have to do that part because you waited until it dried. That's right. Okay. Okay. And if you want more color, let's say you don't have enough color, you just go back in and put a little color. Yeah. Maybe I want to try the, come here, blue metallic, pearlescent blue. Oh, can't see that. Oh, I can't see that. Okay, you see it? Let's try that over this little whitish area, because we can always bring up the highlights again by running over it with different stuff. So let's just see where this goes. Let's use this as a paintbrush. It's here. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I guess I'm sort of emphasizing my leaf by giving it a little bit of a metallic hoo-ha around it, bringing it into the center focal point. That's what I tell myself. Yeah, center focal point, center focal point. Okay, you can make it a little shiny if you want, kind of fan it out. All right, let's see how that goes. All right, now we're going to officially let it dry. Maybe I'll put, look at these hands. See this? You should probably wear gloves. All right. Where's my blow dryer? I put it in a logical place so I could always find it and it'd be at the ready. All right, I got to go look for it. I'll be right back. Okay, it's still not dry and I have not found my blow dryer. I have a funny feeling I accidentally threw it out during the big cleanup. Well, we shall see. Then we will work with what we have. So what I wanted to play with was the idea of making stuff out of the tissue paper that can accentuate what we're doing, almost using it as a little, like rolling it and giving it a little bit of a shape. Okay, so we're making like a little, who knows what. Okay. Maybe, never done this before, so roll with me here. All right, roll with me. Grab some, this is tissue paper, like Kleenex. Just using that, and I'm trying to roll it tightly to make a little rope. Maybe I can make cool things. We shall see. I don't know, but we'll probably need to coat it with Mod Podge, I would think. So let's stick our finger in the Mod Podge. Maybe run it down here and then twirl. Give it some shape. Then I'm going to try and apply this to my wet to my wet cover and maybe do some things in it. Maybe do some things in the corners, like maybe just a basic coil at first. Let's try that. And we're going to try and glue it on there and see what it looks like. I don't know. I think it might be all right. Well, maybe we'll do a back coil too. Maybe that'll look more plant-like. I'm kind of drawing on from the designs that when we do, Zentangle or drawing things like that, where we're just using line drawing to make pretty things. Let's see if we can take that concept and bring it into, it's a little sticky. All right, let's try this. Let's put some glue down, put it in the corner. This is just like, oh, maybe I should probably use some Fabric Fix. It's a little stronger. Okay, just really want to stick this down. It's stuck to my finger now. We shall see. Does it look better on that side? I think so. Okay, let's try that. And we're going to try sticking that down for a little bit of enhancement. Yeah, and then we can paint over that, right? Okay, let's try that again. Here we have some left over here. Let's make our little string. Probably better to do lines, like the same thickness might be better. Stuff's not the easiest to work with. It is tissue paper. It has a mind of its own. Okay, let's try from the center with our gluey fingers and see how far we get. Okay. Ooh, wet it a little bit. Is that good? Probably not. It's probably gonna tear. Okay. Well, it has a little bit of tensile strength. That's good. We'll just do a little tighter. Rolling. Roll. This is not so hard. Okay, that's what we're going with. Yeah. All right. Now let's get a little bit of glue on here, just to give it something to stick to itself with so it behaves in the roll. There's probably more official ways to do this, but hey, new technique. Am I unrolling? Oh, I'm totally unrolling. Look at me. I'm unrolling my roll. Yeah, don't unroll your roll. That's just plain silly. Yeah, once you go in one way, you got to keep going that way. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Might be easier with drier paper. Yeah, see, now that I've wet it, but it's really kind of half wet. Now I'm unrolling again. Look at me unroll. Okay. Apparently you can unroll and re-roll in case of emergency. Yeah, all right, let's see what we got here. Let's tighten up the ship, tighten it up, and let's make a curly Q. Okay, if you have a weird end, you just get rid of it. Here we go. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's just do a little roundy-loo. Whoop, rolling, tightening, whoop, under, rolling, tightening. Basic supplies, probably could use napkins from a restaurant. Don't tell the restaurant I told you to say it, just shh. Grab some napkins. They could even be your used napkins. I think that would work. Okay, there. That's very eco-friendly. Yay! Don't make a mess on your face. Just pat your mouth gently, then bring it home. All right. There's the internet after all. Okay, here we go. We're making our little S-shaped curly Q. Getting totally glue stuck here. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. Let's put down a little Mod Podge and Fabric Fix. Why not? I don't know. Just make sure we get a good grab. We'll mix those together. I have no idea what happens. Probably toxic soup. Hey, oop, don't let go of your curly. So get one curly down, and then you can put the other curly down. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Yeah. All right. Put you down. Down you go. All right. Settle in. You're living there for life. Now, I would put 2 more here, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm going to cover the spine with a piece of material or something like that. So now I would say it would be very beneficial for you to wait for that to dry. But are we going to do that? No. No. We're going to paint over it. Okay. Let's get that blue again. Maybe we'll just do a base of blue first. Because that's what we were starting with. Okay, there's the blue. Blue's coming. This again is phthalo blue with the pH. Okay, just gonna get that. Okay. I don't know where I put my blow dryer. It's somewhere. You know, my heat gun. That's what I mean, not my blow dryer. The heat gun is basically a blow dryer, but the blow of the wave is diverted, and you just get the heat part. Okay, just going around the edges. Okay, so that's blending into the area. Pretty easy to do. It absorbs well. All right, let's do the bottom one. And then we can play with the highlights of this after. Okay. Now this would be really cool on a very ornate Victorian style one where you could put a lot of different little twists and turns and things like that. I think that would look really cool. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can barely even see them right now, right? But then if we waited until it dried, which of course we're not going to do that, then you might come along with some gold metallic, and you might come along and do something like this, because you can. All right, just smooth it out a little bit. Okay, just touch the tops. Okay. As that dries, that'll sink in more to the shape. You can always put on more later. But this is what happens when you do it when it's wet. Yep. Okay. There. All right. We have blue on our gold and all sorts of goofy things going on. Okay, so now, after it dries, I would come along with my bowl of Mod Podge, and I would get my clean brush. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, this should be a clean brush. That would be much better. All right, let's just see. Is it clean? Doesn't look very clean. Oh, you don't even want to see what my shirt looks like right now. Let me just give you a little demonstration of what my shirt looks like right now. That's why you don't want to wear anything too precious while you're doing this with acrylic paints. Right. Of course, it could be a very nice new design on the shirt. All right, I think a dry brush would be best. Or not even. Maybe we want to, because we don't want to drag, it might pull. Oh, I just want to do it. I just want to, okay, there's a brush. Might not cause too much problem. This is very like short, little stub brush. Let's try this in the corner. If it's a complete disaster, we will wait for the darn thing to dry. Okay. This is a very long handle, which kind of gets in the way, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Sealing. Okay. Oh, now this is actually taking on new design and new shape because I'm dragging down, and that's going to pull the colors together that way because it's not dry. But if it was dry, that wouldn't happen. Okay, so now I'm sealing in my leaf seal. I'm putting a fairly thick coat on here, which is going to make it take longer to dry. Then we're going to have to walk away and come back another day. Oh, okay. Let's just put this all on and see what happens. Okay, I know you're still a little wet. All right. They say it's better to do thin coats. You know they say it's better to do thin coats of Mod Podge and like do repeat coats. Probably it is, but apparently I didn't get the memo. Look at me not getting the memo. Will you ever follow the rules, Missy? You little rule breaker, you. All right. Okay, let go of me. Go away. Go away. Oh, okay. All right, getting the edges. And we can always come back over and paint more blue on top of this. And we can put more gold accents on top of this, depending on what it looks like when it's dry. And I'm thinking we're probably going to have to put some more accents on because I'm basically taking them off. Yeah, by doing this before it's dry. Okay, I just want to get it sealed. And then we don't have to sweat so much. Once it's sealed, then you know it's sealed. Okay. All right, so that is going to take a little time to dry. All right. And don't go over it like too aggressively because you're going to tear your little tiny tissue paper fibers, and you want to keep some of the little crunch in there. And let's say you're worried, like, I don't think I have enough crunch. It looks very smooth. What am I going to do? Well, you can just like come along and like put something down that has more wrinkles in it because it's really wet, and you can sort of play with it right now because it's going to really absorb anything that you put on it because it's so wet. But that's not sealed. Well, we might put another layer on top, right? So no sweating, no sweating. All right, let's get one of my thin single sheet cheapo bar napkins, which I bought during the pandemic because I thought everybody was going to have my toilet paper. All right. You know what, honestly, what we decided to do, which was kind of crazy, but after the whole toilet paper craziness, we decided to get this little bidet gizmo thing. It was like, I don't know, $79. It's not, we didn't buy a whole bidet, but it's like a little gizmo you hook up. So it basically takes away the fear of not having toilet paper. Yes. So anyway, that's probably too much information. Go away. Back to crafting, back to crafting. It's just a toilet paper issue. People want to know. Right? Okay. Save a tree, but use up water. So I don't know exactly if it's eco-friendly or not, but it served a purpose. Served a purpose. Okay, this looks a little smooth down here. I'm just going to wrinkle it up and put a little more on top. That looks kind of lumpy. All right. That's okay, though. I'm not going to worry about it. Just going to do it and see what happens. Okay, let's just put that in the corner there and glue it down. Go to glue it down. Glue. Pat, pat. Okay, look at there. We've got even some blue ink there. I'll give you some blue ink because you didn't have blue ink. Okay. All right, got a little lumpy there. That's okay. There, a little there. Lumpy blue. Lump of blue. All right. Let's smooth it down around the corner. Take off any excess. And I'm just going to cover you now. What the heck? Put some more on. I've been waiting for 75 years for this thing to dry. All right, and this may be a part 2 video. I may have to do this second part. Where are we? Yeah, okay. Let's just go ahead and let this dry, like really dry. And I will do a part 2, which I'll upload them on the same day so you can find them and see 1 and 2 together because I think it's just going to take some time to dry. Yeah. Okay. So I'll let you know how long it took to dry. Okay. There you go. So, Sunny, do you have any words? No, Mom, I'm sleeping. Okay. Fine. All right. So there you go. Look out for part 2. If you find value here, please like, subscribe, and share. I don't know if you find this valuable yet, but hang tight. This part 2 is coming. And I've got an Amazon shop for favorite tools and supplies. I've got the Craftimo paints and paintbrush link down below, and with the 10% off code. Etsy shop, vintage digital kits, an occasional junk journal and bundles. Newsletter links down below. Free monthly emailed newsletter. April's a really great month to sign up because there's an extra special something or other in there for you. And you get a free digital image every month, checklist of supplies, note from the bookmaker, junk journal tips, and updates from Paper Outpost. Videos come out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Podcast Tuesdays, Thursdays. Come and join the Facebook group. Having a lot of fun over there doing weekly and monthly challenges. Remember that fun can be simple and create with reckless abandon. And I'll see you back here for part 2. Bye.